even more high-pitched. Welcome, friend of the show, myself, and my best friend ever, Sede Bocante. Thank you for joining us. Viewer discretion advised, as all Selahcast begins.
Did you know this Selahcast contains abuse and misconduct? Also, the sound of swallowing water.
That was. Let me get some drink. Let me get more water. Thank you. Most refreshing. Welcome, friend of the show, Sede Bocante.
That's not my name. That's not my name. That's
What?
not my name.
Welcome, friend of the show. A General Sede Bocante LaFlop.
Oh, look at someone thanked me for what I did.
Thank you for your service.
Viewer discretion advised.
Welcome, friend of the show.
Subject matter that some viewers may find disturbing or upsetting. Viewer discretion is advised.
Oh boy.
Welcome to What Catholics Believe. I'm your host, Jim Erling. The topic of today's show is sedevacantism.
What? Oh, this is about Shookheart? Really? Are they really gonna bring up this Shookheart drama? I mean, oh, Shookheart! Man!
Now do the Vatican II orgies.
Nah, we don't need to talk about those in Detective Koishi's
Oh, do we get Father Chikata spanking people? Come on, Father Chikata, make an appearance.
Yay! Do.
The insane history!
Oh my gosh! Who made this?
Huh?
Who made this? And how far is it going to be shilled? How far? It's a mystery. I
let them know. Ha ha ha! Now do the Vatican II orgies.
Ooh. You should add more trap music over the video.
Do you have more?
No, but that would be funny. It'd just be like.
These individuals are known as sedevacantists.
Yeah, we'll never get done if we play music over there.
They believe the last true pope was Pope Pius XII.
Wait, is this Gen Z Catholic?
Pretty much.
The group is formerly known as the Congregation of Mary Immaculate.
I love you, Gen Z Catholic, who
Its
ran
history
away
includes SWAT
from
team
us.
raids, allegations of pedophilia, institutionalized racism, and Freemason
What?
conspiracy theories.
Wait, we're Freemason conspiracy theories?
Institutionalized racism.
We're institutionalized racism?
That's right. Especially in Mexico.
Wow.
Let's keep watching.
The current leader of the CMRI is Mark Pivarunis. His official title is Superior General.
Oh.
The current leader is Mark Pivarunis. His title is Leader.
Oh.
Wow. Is that how leadership works? Wow.
Wow, good points. General Sede Bocante LaFlop.
Yeah, did you know that? Cardinal It's a minor? Oh no, we can't drug-fueled orgies. We don't get to talk about those. Oh,
the ones in the Vatican with the cocaine.
Oh.
Proof that the Novus Ordo Church has been refuted. I'm retarded.
But before we look into the shady history of Pivarunis, we need to first understand how the CMRI began.
They've begun under Novus Ordo, I hope he says. Or is he going to lie?
And where better to start than with the founder, Francis Conrad Schuchart?
They're starting 10 years in? It was founded by a guy who wasn't even a bishop. Here's some pictures of him as a bishop. Here's Napoleon, the Emperor of France. Napoleon was born to his parents in Corsica. Why am I watching a picture of him as the King of France already?
Schuchart was born in Seattle, Washington on July 10th,
He's a cute
1937,
baby.
to German immigrant parents, Frank and Gertrude Schuchart. He graduated high school in 1954 and later attended Seattle University, earning a degree in education and linguistics. In 1958, Schuchart joined the Blue Army of Our Lady of Fatima, a group devoted to traditional Catholic values and reverence to the Virgin Mary. He enrolled in seminary in 19...
Ah, yes, devoted to traditional Catholic practices in 1950s. Like, bro, come on. Really? Really? You mean they were devoted to the current Catholic Church? No. They were only part of, unlike the Novus Ordo of the 1950s Catholics, the true Catholics. He was devoted to traditional Catholicism.
I mean, only Catholicism. So
Yeah,
he was
whatever.
devoted to non-heretical Catholicism.
59,
Yeah.
but dropped out in his first year due to health issues, which is a reoccurring pattern throughout his life. Over 2 years, he was reportedly struck with typhoid, leading to an 8-day coma in 1961, thrombophlebitis, otherwise known as blood clots, in 1963. Schuchart attributed both recoveries to miracles from the Virgin Mary and leveraged these stories to rise to the rank of international secretary within the Blue Army.
Selah. I literally got 2 texts tonight from 2 miracles made by Christine Saratino. So I don't want to hear it. The cities don't have miracles things. All I hear is we have miracles.
That's right. We have miracles, like Selah miracles.
Yes. There was she actually prayed a Selah prayer against a thunderstorm, and it went away.
Wow, miracle. Take that, Novus Ordo.
Yeah, guess who just got owned by miracles?
That's right.
Schuchart would capitalize on these, quote, miracles and would become the poster boy for the Blue Army of Our Lady of Fatima. Combining his linguistic background with the era's fear of communism, Schuchart relentlessly toured North America from 1963 to 1967. He's documented giving lectures in up to 20 American cities, including San Diego, Portland, and Chicago. He had a knack for the dramatic and exploited local newspapers, limited fact-checking, boasting of international travels with locations that changed between interviews. On February 11th, 1960,
Like? I mean, it's nice that the author has these facts, but it would be wonderful if he shared it with us. Hopefully he does.
1967, the Vatican held a press conference concerning the third secret of Fatima, a supposed prophecy from a Portuguese nun, Lucia Santos. The Vatican announced the letter would remain a secret and not be released to the public. Santos had previously revealed the first 2 secrets in 1941. The first secret of Fatima is a described vision of hell. The second secret of Fatima is a claim that World War I would end and another war would occur during the reign of Pope Pius XI, and that Russia would need to be consecrated to Catholicism to prevent World War II. The second secret's predictions are extremely debated and
Catholicism?
widely debunked.
Can he be even
World War II
less
did not
like
begin in Europe
specific?
until September 1st, 1939.
What an idiot! It needs
Yeah,
to be
this is already
consecrated to
really-
my Catholicism.
This is already really kind of like weak.
Yeah. Like, sure,
Yeah.
maybe he was a false advertiser. Didn't the CMRI already, like, say that Schuchart was a bad person?
Yeah, didn't they get rid of him and
Yes.
conditionally reordain everyone? Like, he's pretty much
and then
anathematized
Moises
by
de
his own people.
Carmona is the real founder of the CMRI, and the people devoted to Schuckardt also left the CMRI. What?
What?
By which time Pope Pius XI had already been succeeded. Essentially, World War II did not start in the time frame supposedly given by the Virgin Mary, as Pius XI was succeeded long before World War II started.
Didn't Anschluss literally happen during Pius XI's reign, and that's the start of World War II, is when Germany, against God's wishes, invaded Austria? And then there's like the whole story of the nun who had a vision that literally was, hey Mussolini, don't side with Germany! And then Mussolini was like, screw that! Yeah, please bring it up. When did the Anschluss occur, and when is Pius XI the Pope? Also, I'm pretty sure if that's not the case, he's misquoting the actual second secret.
So Pius XI died 39?
Okay, bring up when the Anschluss was, because that's the start of World War II.
38.
What? You mean to say this guy lied about it? No, but there's also like a prophecy of a nun literally telling Mussolini to side with Austria and France. And Mussolini had the chance to pretty much destroy the Nazi, Marxist German government.
No. They had this economic miracle that was completely unstoppable.
No. It's a pure coincidence that when Hitler invaded Austria that a big blood moon appeared. And he thought of himself as, the Messiah or whatever. I'm sure it has nothing to do with Fatima saying a visible warning would occur. And that Hitler literally invades Austria as a blood moon appears. Gee, I wonder who the good guy is, or who the bad guy is. Oh no, he was secretly Catholic, said AP. He had a vision of Our Lady that told him he had to save Europe, and then he never went to Mass again. Also, I'm sorry. I just hate people who say that crap. That's like literally against all things Fatima to like LARP as a Hitler stance.
Before he invaded Austria in January 25th, 38. So he invades in March.
No, there's also like the beer hall putsch, the previous Anschluss attempt that failed. I'm sorry,
this is what
you
you're talking
cannot defend Hitler as Catholic. He was literally like
the Northern Lights appeared in Bavaria for like
yeah. And then a blood moon appeared. A blood moon appeared, and Hitler saw it as his sign to invade Germany. But if you're reading Fatima, it's like an obvious sign what he was doing was wrong. And then just add the context of a nun being told by God that Mussolini shouldn't side with Germany. And then that he would lose his war as soon as he did this. Or the fact that Mussolini had cardinal support for his invasion of Ethiopia. Germany actively sided with Ethiopia against Italy's invasion. I mean, what a great ally Germany is, siding with Ethiopia. Truly the greatest ally ever. Our Third Reich Germany and its active fight against its future allies.
The blood moon is later that year.
No, literally, it's around the time of the Anschluss. It's like the sign that Our Lady is bringing up.
It's after it.
Oh, really?
The Northern Lights in Bavaria happen in January. This happens in November.
Oh, okay. I just remember it being related somehow to the whole Ribbentrop pact that based Hitler made with the Soviets. Just like any base Catholic leader does, you always ally yourself with the weapons of Satan.
Okay, let's go back to the show.
As Pius XI was succeeded long before World War II started. Despite the shakiness of Santos's claims, the decision to withhold the third secret was enough confirmation for Schuckardt that the Vatican had been compromised by outside forces and was no longer truly Catholic. In August of 1967, Schuckardt began assembling like-minded Catholics in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, interested in practicing what he considered the true Catholic faith.
It should be noted, this is 67. Father DePaul starts in 65.
This
Do you know
is also revisionism because there's this priest named Father Catherine in Oregon who was the Redemptorist founder of the SSPX, who happened to be giving, communion to the CMRI faithful of the Blue Army around the same time. And that this went on until about the time the CMRI had like an official mass center down there.
Do you know what time Zamora and the other one who became a bishop? What's his name?
No. Do you mean Carmona?
Yeah, Carmona.
Oh, the Society of Trent is around the time of, like, I don't remember the timeline. All I know is this guy has literally already proven himself to be bad about history. Oh, Pius XI was dead before World War II started because the Anschluss wasn't the beginning of the war. Like, you are dumb! You are stupid! You are retarded! You don't know what you're talking about! You are a liar! You then called the Fatima prophecies subjective and just, to be held, don't even have to be held to, even though the popes made it pretty obvious in the ordinary magisterium that you had to uphold Fatima. I mean, hey, what do I know? Clearly, they're just useless things that you don't need to believe in as a Catholic, clearly.
Do you want to keep going?
Yeah, keep going. No, but I just hate
Under
this.
the
Like, this guy's already proving to be a gay reprobate. Rah!
of Bishop Sylvester
John
Trent,
is mad,
who
John.
founded the
Calm down.
Congregation
This
of
man
Mary
is an
Immaculate Queen
idiot.
of the Universe. At this time, Schuckardt had no active priests in the congregation and forbade the practice of the new Mass. Schuckardt gave his last lecture on behalf of the Blue Army of Our Lady of Fatima on February 24th, 1968.
Selah.
Subject matter shifted.
I would actually like to give a anecdote proving that Schuckardt was bad news from the beginning when he was in Blue Army, which was that he actually took the Eucharist out of the tabernacle with his own hands around the time they separated from Father Catherine of the Redemptress. He tried doing adoration as a lay faithfulman. That happened. That's in the Father Catherine memoirs.
What?
Like, as a layman, he grabbed the Eucharist out of the tabernacle and held adoration. That is a actual thing that happened with Schuckardt.
We might have to actually, I might have to actually share this episode on social media since you're just dropping truth bombs so much.
No, this happened. This is in the Father Catherine memoirs that the SSPX posted. And I've said it before, Father Alphonsus Marie Robinson of the SSPX Redemptorist still maintains good ties with his former CMRI faithful. So no, there's no bad blood to be spilled here over whether you're CMRI just because of Schuckhardt's bad actions against Father Catherine. What I'm basically saying is I took it as ill will until I talked directly to Father Robinson about it, and that's what flipped me on the CMRI question. Because at the time when I read that in the memoir, I took it as, oh my, the CMRI, started from a man committing sacrilege. And then I talked to Father Alphonsus about it, and he was like, no, the CMRI faithful, they got their mass centers, and they've since fixed things, and I maintain good contact with them. And that was the man who's like the direct, was working with Father Catherine when he was saying the masses. And was the only Transalpine Redemptorist to stick to the society when they claimed they had private revelation connected to being told to go into communion with Benedict, which makes it really ironic now they've gone full Sede, because it's pretty much the saying that they lied. Like, I honestly don't have much to go off to trust Father Michael Mary with the fact there is no public statement from him rescinding the fact that he claimed in 2013 that he had a vision in a dream that they had to go into full communion with Rome. Private revelation. And we haven't heard Father Michael Mary make any statements to his action there. Or, an apology for, basically kicking Byzantine Catholic Redemptorists who were part of the Society's group and kicking them to the curb. Like, there is actual Eastern Catholics that were members of the traditional Redemptorists of the Society that were pretty much thrown into the garbage because of Father Michael Mary claiming, I had a vision. I woke up and I realized we had to go to full communion. Like, It just absolutely ruptured an entire group. And has Father Alphonsus received an apology from Father Michael Mary? No! Of course not! We just will sweep that under the rug. Like, as much as I like the fact he became a sede, at the end of the day, Father Michael Mary, you did say, I had a dream that said I had to go into communion with Pope Benedict. And then just threw a bunch of people under the bus. Like, why are you being made a bishop? Like, a man who's already proven to basically have Palmarian tier stupidity. You want me to believe in the conclave with a Palmarian tier stupidity? I'm sorry, but that's the truth. I'm sorry, that's the truth of the matter. We are giving episcopal consecration to a man who claimed, I had a vision of God telling me I had to go into communion with Pope Benedict. So I destroyed an entire group of priests, kicked out a bunch of Byzantines to the curb who were under our group, and I still haven't made a public apology to the SSPX Redemptorists who were thrown to the garbage. And we're now going to hold a conclave with me. Like, I get that he made the statement, I don't judge anyone, pray the rosary every day, but still, like, you're telling me I'm supposed to believe this?
Uh-oh.
Like, I'm sorry, but that's what happened. Like, we can't just ignore what he did 10 years, 12 years ago because he's become a sede. Like, that happened, It's all archived on their website of their statement claiming, seriously. Like, maybe I get they had a change of heart, but still, it doesn't feel right, Like, who's to say they don't turn their back on the whole thing and do this all over again? Like, who's to say? Like, no matter what, this is a giant mess. Everything about the Father Catherine, the CMRI, and then the Transalpine Redemptorists is just one big mess. I don't like delving into because, he claimed, oh, God appeared to me and told me to go into communion with Benedict. And to betray Lefebvre and blah, 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 blah. And now I'm sede, so it's all good. And now we're going to have a conclave. I don't know. I don't know, said AP. It just stings a bit. I don't know if he did make a statement, but I just don't like it, It'd be like if the fraternity of St. Vincent Ferrer turned around and went back to being sede privationist.
What are they now?
I mean, they're now like full communion like the Transalpine Redemptorists. They claim that the thesis was wrong, blah, 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 blah. Benedict is proof that there is a pope. And also, I take back everything I said about Dignatus Humanae. Actually, we and the Muslims, do believe the same God, blah, blah, blah. It can be understood traditionally. Anyway, read Peter Kwasniewski to understand the papacy. I'm the fraternity of St. Vincent Ferrer. Started by Deloriers. Like, that's the most delusional part, is they are like full-blown Kwasniewski reposters in French after being, formed by Deloriers. Like, how does that happen? How do you go from Deloriers to believing everything Peter Kwasniewski says as fact?
Uh-oh. Sounds pretty bad.
Yeah, I mean, but it's in French, so, us English speakers can't figure it out. Have our Pope and ignore him too. Anyway, keep playing the video. I'm sorry. This just plays out on a lot of like messy things that just have not been resolved.
Cog was going to share his dream, but now
that's true. Yeah. Yeah, we have to go into full communion with the conclave pope. It was revealed to me in a dream. Like when Father Michael Mary claims that it was revealed to him in a dream that the conclave pope was valid. Like, what am I supposed to do, laugh? Like, you got it wrong the first time, but this time we can trust you. Like, if it turns out Father Michael Mary is orchestrating the whole thing, I'm just going to say, hey man, he claimed that in 2012, Pope Benedict was the Pope, and that's who we have to go to communion with. Like, I don't know, man. I like what he says, but on the other hand, like, the dude did that, so I wouldn't get your hopes up. I don't think so. Play the video, Selah.
Dramatically. Now centered on the illegitimacy of the Vatican, anti-papal power, threats from Freemasons and Protestants, and warnings of world destruction. Due to Schuckart's shift in tone,
Selah. Wasn't that normal for that era though?
Yeah, I mean, it's
it's
I don't
literally.
even think it was like that. Honestly, I think people underplay just how much the Cold War could have gone worse.
No. Cold War could have been in a nuclear meltdown, except like the CIA got it under control
Yeah.
while escalating it.
Yeah.
While
No,
giving
I mean,
the Russians the secrets to the nukes, the CIA also managed to control it.
No, I mean, there was like plans within the CIA on one hand, working. Basically, if you want to know who's to blame for why the CIA believed the Russia buildup was so strong in Germany and why they didn't trust the Iron Curtain, we can once again thank our great German allies who decided to make money by lying about all of the Russian reinforcements to keep their jobs all squeaky clean with the CIA. Like, there are entire books written about the fact that German intelligence from World War II, members of the Wehrmacht intelligence, openly lied to the CIA to continue having a job by claiming the Russian buildup on the border is impossible for the U.S. to get by. We could never win that war. There are 6 guerrillion Russian soldiers.
And then Patton was going to, not Patton, MacArthur.
Yeah, but that never happened because German intelligence, the great Wehrmacht soldiers of awe and honor, who on their belts had God with us, so they are trustable, lied to us and told us, oh yes, the Russian buildup is just so strong. And then on the other hand, you had like the German, intelligence on the other side just actively working hard with the Russian, communist government, believing they could somehow, start the new socialist nationalist party there. The so-called non-Marxists, it's different, bro. We aren't Marxists, bro, I swear.
Do you have a drink?
No, it's just, this shit pisses me off. Like, the absolute LARP of some Catholics who will just be like, actually, if you read all this crap in a really weird ideology that's SSPX R&R tier argumentation, which is no fucking, it's no wonder that the same idiots who hold to these theses on Germany will also happen to hold some of the most stupid views of the church. Oh, actually, I recognize and resist Pius XII.
Let's get back to the show.
Blue Army speeches. He was warned by his superiors to obey the teaching of Vatican II or stop using the name of the Blue Army. And just like that, Schuckart left the Blue Army.
I like how they're just, gaslighting the audience with the Schuckart Pope photo. That was after he left.
Dennis?
Yeah, I mean, that's Father Dennis. What's his name? Why am I blanking on Father Dennis? Chicoine, Father Chicoine.
I thought he was solid, right?
Yeah, he was. I mean, he's the one of the ones who got the conditional. I don't know. I mean, this is just pure like
Fatima Cell movement. Around this time, the CMRI purchased a large plot of land in Rothgrim, Idaho, and opened a school. Former members described the institution as run by nuns and brothers who had barely graduated themselves. Key conditions reported were there was no co-education, boys and girls were separated, speaking was forbidden, even in sign language, and high school students had no proper classes and were forced to retake grade school years multiple times.
Oh.
Okay, so they were incompetent. Who cares?
Womp, womp, womp. Proof that
Did
there
you
was
know
God and
your
the
students
Holy
aren't
Spirit.
really good? That's a sign you're possessed by the devil.
No, I mean, there's another interview of, one of the CMRI sisters talking about the same time period.
Maybe
And
they'll
about the
play.
fact that the whole debate started because priests were talking about the Novus Ordo. They went to the Novus Ordo once in like 1969, I think, and then they all left. Like at the time, they were recognized as a diocesan institute of religious life until they attended the Novus Ordo, and then they were basically kicked to the curb. Like at the time, they had full recognition of the ordinary.
Yes.
In 1970, Schuchart received a letter from Daniel Quilter Brown, a bishop from the Catholic separatist group American Old Catholic Church.
Bishop
Brown
Daniel.
eventually ordained Schuchart as both a priest and a bishop during the same ceremony in Chicago in late 1971.
Isn't
The
that
ceremony
so funny?
took place in a motel room as they were not permitted in.
I love that. Did you know the early Christians were in catacombs?
They didn't even have a synagogue. They were kicked out by the evil Judaizers. We are the Judaizers.
Hey, get your own religion right, buddy. Oh, that's right. They're Novus Ordos. Never mind.
Any Catholic churches. By 19...
Selah. We used to have these kind of comforters that we used to make beds with. They're very annoying to use. I just want to say because this used to be my job. That's how things updated.
73,
Nah,
Bishop
making
Brown's
military
relationship
beds
with
easier.
The CMRI had soured. Brown claimed in a letter published by the Seattle Times that the group had become a personal cult of Francis Schuchart and could not call itself Catholic. In 1974, Bishop Trennan, the bishop who had originally approved the CMRI, publicly denounced the group in an article published by the Times
because they became
News
SEDE
in
after
Twin Falls,
1969.
Idaho. In 1974, the first of many litigations arrived when Schuchart was sued by the husbands of two of his nuns who had fled to
Huh?
The husbands of two of his nuns.
What? What?
Something tells me it's a cult if there's husbands for the nuns.
Like
7 of Schuchart's concubines sued him. Wait, what? Come again? What? Wait.
Schuchart's convent in Idaho without informing their families. Brothers Joseph and Henry Radecki each filed for $46,000 in damages, alleging that Schuchart had convinced their wives and children to leave without warning. When Joseph flew to Idaho, his wife successfully hid the children from him. Although the brothers initially won the settlement, the court overturned the decision in a 1976 Ohio hearing. The court ruled it was not concerned with the claims of child alienation. Only the wives' alienation of affection was considered. So despite all the clear evidence that the children were alienated, supposedly the evidence wasn't strong enough.
I accept one court hearing, but I don't accept the other one.
The ruling came down to a narrow legal technicality. The court stated it was not concerned in this case with a claim by a parent against a third party who maliciously alienates the affections of a minor child, meaning the child alienation angle.
This doesn't sound biased at all.
The only legally recognizable claim was the wives' alienation of affection towards their husbands. And on that question, the court held that without proof of deliberate intent to destroy the marriages, a religious sect has lawful right to solicit members. The irony behind this is the children the court couldn't protect from the CMRI compound in the 1970s grew up to become fathers. Francisco and Dominic Radecki.
I wonder if they think the same thing, that they were in a cult.
You know, they're both alive. I wonder if they comment in this video.
Tumultuous times and became two of the CMRI's most prolific apologists under Pivarunis.
Oh no, they must have been abused and cultish because they defend their group. Womp, womp, womp.
Meanwhile, they off the top of their heads give lectures with sources. It's
no, I love Father Radecki. Dominic, isn't he the guy, the older guy with the white hair with like the glasses?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that guy. He makes great sermons. No, I think he actually like grew up in the Catholic faith.
They're pretty smart. Like for abused people, you would think that they're like evangelion, singy, like, oh, know the whole time.
I've been abused. No, like Father
They
Dominic's
really are.
great.
Outcome
this-
of the legal failure.
It's yes, the
There's
legal
also
failure.
a parallel case, O'Neill versus Schuchart, where Jerry O'Neill sued as guardian for his 5 children. That jury returned a unanimous verdict of $250,000, finding the defendants had alienated his wife's affections, invaded marital privacy, and invaded the children's
cares?
privacy.
Blah,
That
blah,
one
blah,
was
blah,
also
blah.
contested on appeal. However, the
Huh?
appeal was unsuccessful. So the pattern is consistent here. We have documented evidence of families being split, fathers winning at the jury level, and the courts narrowing the legal.
Selah. In the in the Father Feeney case, the actual children that were being abused were the source for the letter, not court documents.
Yeah.
This is
What do you
kind of-
mean? Explain. Extrapolate.
So in the Feeney case, he had a few families that lived under them,
Yeah.
and the children of those were held in socialist communion. So there were
Yeah,
no one's particular
comments.
children. So those children, after the whole thing was busted up, wrote a book. And
Defending
Intro
or
was
attacking Feeney?
attacking him, telling that's how we know that he ran a cult, because they were the only ones who said it. And it wasn't like one kid; it was a whole bunch of them. I think it was like 10 or something who signed off on it, but only 2 authored the book. The rest of them just wanted to get out and leave.
Mystery.
But this isn't evidence of anything. This is evidence of lawsuits.
Yeah, I was about to
And
say, you can take it either way. Like his whole, and the juries found it to be terrible, but the evil courts, it's like, just shut up, man.
The courts found John Farrell to be, hiding money from his wife.
Oh, the jury did this. It's proof of the abuse cult of annulment proof. I mean, his son still likes him.
Yeah,
now
his
lives,
children like
next to him.
him and not his wife. I wonder who's the abuser. Cow, horse, moose poop. Let's get back to this.
Standard in a way that let the organization off the hook. In 1976, the legal troubles for the CMRI continued as John M. Tamplin filed a $14 million lawsuit. His claim centered on the church causing his separation from his wife and catastrophic financial and property losses. $14 million figure represented the full extent of what he claimed to have lost, personal, financial, and marital damages combined. This lawsuit was unsuccessful, however. No court records have surfaced showing any award or settlement in his favor.
No.
So rather than accepting the legal
Father
defeat,
Chikata's
Tamplin
spanking
pivoted
children.
to
Come on.
public protests. He and his daughter, Margie Skarisky, parked a truck outside Mount St. Michael's, bearing
Blew it
signs reading, "The Crusade is a satanic family-splitting cult, and Francis Schuchart is not a bishop." In 1978 and 1979, he was arrested by the Spokane County Police for refusing to sign a parking ticket during one of these protests. He then filed a $200,000 damages claim over the arrest. CMRI moved for dismissal, but the motion was rejected, though the ultimate outcome of the claim is not documented in any available records.
In other words, it was settled out of court. Don't worry.
The CMRI also obtained a restraining order preventing Tamplin from bringing his protest vehicle onto church property. So the irony behind this case is that Margie Skarisky later became one of the most significant witnesses against the CMRI. She testified in the O'Neill case about cult-like activities and mind control techniques, which was arguably far more damaging to the CMRI than any of her father's lawsuits. Now, with this litigation section of the video, we've been jumping around a little bit in the timeline. I real quick want to jump back to 1978.
It sounds like SSPD and their accusation of Bishop Kelly was using Air Force brainwashing techniques on the Society of St. Pius V nuns. Do you remember that claim? Remember the claim by CMRI that Bishop Kelly was a former Air Force member, so he's using MK Ultra techniques he ran in the Air Force to control the nuns? Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, I guess we'll just ignore the story of Our Lady of Good Success when that one nun, tried locking up all of them when she was made superior and the bishop, got tricked
into believing her, and that, like, Venerable Mary Torre de Jesus, ended up pretty much being put in a prison with the rest of the nuns for like a year or something.
I don't ever discuss nuns. I did in first season 1 because I was interested in that. I don't generally discuss nuns because you gotta have like read Saint John of God and know spiritual life and know what's going on.
No, or know
And-
any of the dramas behind like the canonized nuns that had to deal with basically a bunch of fiascos like this. No,
Yeah.
it's like normal. It's normal.
It's normal,
Like in
but like
men
there's
monasteries,
demonic
all you see
positions all
is
the time.
no, like in men monasteries, all you see is splits and sects like the SSPX Resistance,
Yeah.
or like the Trappists, or like Father Chicata talking about the fact that the Trappists, would have been better spending their time doing vocal prayer than writing tracts against each other. They spent more time in intellectual debates than they did, actually praying. But they were in full communion, so the Holy Ghost protected them.
So we used to be close to some Norbertine nuns,
Yeah.
and they kept a whole bunch of animals, and those animals stank to high heavens. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a lot of infighting in the convent about the stench. And that some people are really
No.
pissed off
No.
and said a bunch of bad things
No,
about other
that's like
people in
when
there.
Saint Teresa and the Disc House Carmelites was basically kicked out for wanting to reform the order, and that's the reason why the Disc House Carmelites exist instead of just of the Order of Carmel, or the fact that Saint Teresa's superior betrayed the entire group when instead of continuing with the Carmelite rite, decided to submit to the Roman rite, and this man was never canonized, even though it went against the wishes of St. John of the Cross and St. Teresa. But he was in full communion, so it's okay.
I don't know. It's like I don't unless you can get documentation talking about people like this.
Or when St. Francis's best friend decided to almost destroy the Franciscan order, right after he died, and actively basically tried stripping apart any of the vow of poverty. I mean,
yeah, I remember that part. In one of the
no,
movies,
like there's a whole like book about it, like what he
but
did
there's
to
a
the
movie
group.
where they brought this up, and it was really interesting just because the stark contrast where they're like, oh, he's this guy who's doing something. This guy just goes, we have to be practical, Francis. You're completely wrong. You're like, whoa, okay, whoa. What happened?
When
They're
what's
not
his
believers.
face? Saint Joseph Cupertino. When they decided to put him in his own little cell and claimed he must have been hallucinating, blah blah blah. But they were in full communion, so it's like.
Cupertino's really funny.
No, like remember, all these people were in full communion. No infighting allowed. It's like, yeah, we all will admit this is demonic, but
It
it
is
doesn't
very
prove
demonic.
It's not non-Catholic. At the end of the day, this happens all the time. Yeah. We have multiple stories, like or like when Christine Harrington like pretty much mocks Saint Rita's record by talking about her obedience. While pretty much downplaying the fact that her whole beliefs on the Catholic marriage contradict what St. Rita's life was meant for, of staying with her husband. Because she was abused. Why didn't she just get an annulment?
Why didn't you just divorce her husband and then regret it the rest of your life?
Yeah, because I'm a woman.
Guys, get back to the show.
1878, the CMRI purchased Mount St. Michael's Seminary, then valued at $1.5 million, including a $255,000 initial cash payment for the massive 715-acre facility. This purchase was reportedly made through an entity known as Pillar Investment Company, an apparent attempt to deceive the Jesuits who were selling the property and would never knowingly sell to a fringe splinter group like the CMRI.
Selah, if you have any economic savvy,
proof.
If you have any economic savvy, this isn't unusual.
Yeah.
Like literally, that chick was trying to date me. Literally is doing this. No, she bought a church and is remodeling it, and then she's like, "Oh, did a religious order get this church? Because I just want to, because I'm rich." Like she literally was like, "This is my plan." It's like, yeah, people do this. This isn't weird.
No, it's like they'll sell to a mosque anyway, so who cares? Like, that's
Yeah.
the Novus Ordo Church, is the mosque can get the church. Like, is that a good thing?
This is
I'm
all.
in for communion.
This is so bad. No.
Thou shalt not talk about Catholic Church history. Thou shalt pretend like it was all rosy bosy and that there was never, ever, ever in the beginning a giant mess.
No. You only remember this mess when you talk to St. Avicantus.
Also ignore JP2 and the Legionaries of Christ.
Uh-oh.
Or Opus
Spokane Chronicle
Dei.
reported in May 1978 that in addition to these assets, the church also
Proof
possessed 9 houses
JP2
in
was just
Coeur
like
d'Alene,
Schuckardt.
Idaho, used for various different purposes. Newspapers speculated Schuckart's own mansion on the 140-acre city of Mary had a reported worth of $500,000 US. Now, it was around this time in
Selah, that's an irrelevant point. Thank you very much. Dude,
He
no one
just keeps
says
doing this.
no one says that because the cathedral, St. Patrick's Cathedral, is worth money, therefore that cardinal's an invalid cardinal. No one says that. It's like
1978 and 1979 that the CMRI went through a name change and changed their name to the Tridentine Latin Rite Catholic Church, the TLRCC. For the sake of this video, and you'll see in a little bit why, I'm still going to refer to the group right now as the CMRI. It's just for ease of understanding. So at this point, the CMRI just changed their name, and the reason they did this was likely to distance themselves from all the previous litigation and allegations that are starting to come out against them.
which stuff.
Darth Vader music.
And in the early 1980s, news broke of anti-Semitic and anti-American teachings being forced through the church as required reading. Former members quoted Schuckardt as claiming America is under a Freemason republic. It was anti-Catholic to support the American flag.
Is this guy even Catholic?
No, he's
Is
a
this
gamer.
guy? Oh, really?
This is YouTube.
Did he make what? A Marvel fan?
Yeah, he's playing Marvel Rivals.
What a serious person. I'm so glad he broke this down.
I don't know, maybe this is a repost from somewhere else.
Anti-Semitic, like what? America was a Freemasonic republic. Clearly not true.
That the developers made seem to have been accepted and well liked by a majority of the Marvel Rivals community.
How Novus Ordo is this guy?
Oops.
Gooner.
Sorry for Gooner content.
A Gooner made a video.
I just wanted to hear his voice.
Yeah, so I guess he did make this video.
It was
He's
around
just
this
as
time
stupid
as,
as we
that
think.
the O'Neill case went through in the early 1980s, and I would say this was one of the catalysts towards Schuckart's inevitable downfall. In April of 1984, 4 seminarians went on camera with Seattle's ABC affiliate KOMO TV to confirm that Schuckardt had sexually abused them while they were studying for their priesthood.
Yeah, and then they kicked him out.
Dennis Chicoine finally made his move. Chicoine had been with Schuckardt since the very beginning, a former Marine from New England.
And as they've said, he lived separately at another different CMRI chapel with no real contacts with Mount St. Michael's. Like, does no one remember the CMRI nun interview that explicitly says this? That the CMRI was very, like, separated from each other? So, like, the Schuckardt news was, like, pretty much unknown. I mean, you can claim that's just lies or something, but it's more plausible than this.
Yeah.
Speak in 1965 and became his most devoted follower. Schuckardt ordained him as a priest in 1975 and made him Vicar General, number 2 in the entire organization. For nearly 20 years, Chicoine was Schuckart's most loyal lieutenant. But by the early 1980s, things had fallen apart. Schuckardt needed Demerol injections every 2 hours just to function. Public masses were being canceled without explanation. Young men who had given years of their lives waiting to be ordained as priests were being told to keep waiting indefinitely. Cash and uncashed checks were piling up in corners of the priory, unmanaged and forgotten. Chicoine had seen enough, and on May 27, 1984, he made his move. He had secretly canceled every public Sunday Mass except one. When the congregation gathered for that final Mass, Chicoine stepped up to the pulpit and publicly accused Schuchart of everything: drug addiction, sexual abuse of Sumerians, theft of church funds, and that Schuchart would
Sumerians?
privately claim that he himself was the true pope. The response was almost immediate. Within hours, Chicoine had the backing of most of the priests, brothers, sisters, and lay members. On the night of May 26th, Schuchart was in charge.
Because
By
they
May
were
28th,
evil
he was
cult
finished.
members.
Schuchart's inner circle had seen it coming, however. They were already loading moving vans with cash, drugs, and religious texts before Chicoine even stepped up to the pulpit.
Is there any truth behind that? Do you know?
No, I mean, Schuchart was crazy and his followers were crazy, so, I mean, this part I think is upheld by the CMRI. No, but if
Yeah.
anything, it just shows Chicoine was like a genuinely good person.
Yeah,
Like-
you have
like-
to kick the bad people out. It's like, that's Catholicism.
No!
And also the idea
mean,
that
even-
that the Jews are in control of everything. That idea was in the 50s. There were books going around before Vatican
No, it's
II.
like Father
They were true.
Fahey. Oh, you hate,
Yeah.
but I love Father Fahey. One day he will be made a saint.
No, he won't. That dude went
Yes,
to
he
hell.
will. No, he didn't. Don't say that.
Okay.
You can't say that. That's literally against like Pope Leo the 13th and a few of the other popes praising his
Wait,
writings.
when did he die?
Like right before the new mass was instituted, and the bishop basically said, "Oh, he was an anti-Semite, but he was like a saint."
But like a saint.
Yeah, he's like, with Vatican II, we had to move beyond Fahey. Like a lot of the Irish Holy Ghost fathers preach just like Father Fahey. Like, and remember, the Holy Ghost fathers are who was a member of the Holy Ghost fathers?
Adolf Hitler.
No. Who was an archbishop, a member of the Holy Ghost fathers?
Oh, I don't know. He died in 54.
Yeah, way before.
Yeah, he died way before. He's probably the reason why the Vatican II people thought they were being infiltrated.
Yeah, real. No, I mean his whole writings were praised by the prelates at the time.
When the confrontation reached
Said
the
PP like,
mansion,
I
a shot
hate the
was
book
reportedly fired.
Liberalism is a
Schuchart's
sin.
men crashed through the compound's security.
Okay, that book is 80s. 1880s.
Yeah, but it's great.
I've read
And it's
entire
made by-
sections of it,
it's
and it
made
says
by-
nothing what other people say. It says what I say it says.
Yeah. No, it's my favorite book. It talks
Stephen
about
Cummings.
bullying being illicit. That's the best part. And he was beatified.
Gate to escape. Schuchart disappeared. He failed to appear at the legal hearing that followed. He surfaced in a motel room, the source of the famous photograph that I've shown in this video a few times, that eventually ended up in the press. On June 3rd of 1984, he left Spokane permanently. He took with him one priest, 11 brothers, and 4 nuns. Fewer than 100 people out of thousands. Chicoine pretty much kept everything. The buildings, the schools, the property, the name. Schuchart would in turn excommunicate Chicoine for the revolt. The excommunication was unfortunately never lifted. Here's where it gets important to understand something.
Why was
The
that being...
abuse that would eventually bring Schuchart down wasn't a secret, not to the people around him. It had been known internally for nearly a decade. A priest named Father Clement Kubesh, the only man in the organization at the time with legitimate pre-Vatican II seminary training, made accusations against Schuchart in the early 1970s. He was ignored, and he ended up leaving the group specifically because he had found out about the sexual abuse and nothing was being done. Basically, a young religious brother who lived at Schuchart's priory was assigned to administer.
Are we really going down the... Because Alexander VI had a kid while being the Pope, therefore he's a fake Pope. Is that really where we're going?
I prefer the argument from Savonarola that he claimed that Alexander VI may have been an atheist.
If he's an
And that's why
atheist, then
he
he's
didn't.
not a Pope.
No, I know that was like the whole point of Savonarola's disobedience was that he was claiming Alexander VI was a manifest heretic at one point. Oh,
What are you doing? Rolling something out
No,
round?
a fan turned on.
Okay. I'll keep the video going.
Dr. Schuchart's Demerol injections, what happened
Ooh.
behind closed doors deeply troubled him. He went to his spiritual director for guidance. His spiritual director told him the matter had already been looked into, and they told him to stay silent. And now this is where the current leader, Mark Pivarunas, comes in. Pivarunas is the man who leads the CMRI today. He is the bishop, the superior general, the face of the organization, right? He lived at the priory during this period. And in a 1997 book published by Oxford University Press, he confirmed on the record exactly what he knew. He said, and I'm quoting this directly, "He didn't touch me, but he was definitely sexually abusing seminarians, usually at his private residence in Spokane. And he was also taking a lot of drugs. His immorality was scandalous, but I continued to regard him as my legitimate bishop." Let that sink in. The man who leads the
Let that sink in.
Let that sink in. Is it sinking yet?
CMRI today knew his bishop was sexually abusing seminarians. He didn't leave, he didn't report it, he stayed and built his entire career and the organization's current structure on that foundation. Pivarunas didn't stumble across this information as an outsider. He entered the organization as a 15-year-old boy in 1974.
Yeah, and it's Pivarunas' fault that America has a national debt, by the way. He's a part of America and knows America has a national debt, which is immoral and usurious and a mortal sin. Hello, why didn't he fix that?
No, it's also the fact he joined when he was 15.
Like, what's he supposed to do? I love these, like, I looking back at it from the 10,000 feet up, like, oh.
And lived
That's how
inside the
they were
community for a decade as a professed religious brother. By his own admission, he knew Schuchart
took
was
a vow of
abusing
obedience.
seminarians at his private residence. That's not
Obedience doesn't mean you have to obey people. What are you, a traditional Catholic?
No, St. Elizabeth of Hungary never existed.
What's her story? That she had to obey her. What's the
She had,
story
like,
with St.
abusive
Elizabeth of Hungary? That the
spiritual
tree
abuse.
walked across the river to prove
Yeah,
a
and
point to
spiritual
her?
abuse. Yeah.
Oh.
someone who failed to notice something. That's someone who knew, stayed silent, and then rose to lead the organization after the man he protected was finally removed.
He protected him?
Yeah.
Excuse me, Detective Koishi, are you protecting the CEO of Casey's who has relations with a sheep?
I
Bestiality. Wonder if you can say that on YouTube.
Well, we'll figure it out. Say
Now,
what you
shortly
say.
after Schuchart had left the organization, more allegations against the CMRI started to come out. And unfortunately, the abuse was not limited to Schuchart himself. In 1986, a former student named Julie McKenzie described what life was like in the schools. At age 12, she was forced to eat rotten carrots to avoid food waste. When she vomited, she was beaten, given a black eye and a swollen face.
Isn't that like one of the two big stories, though?
Yeah, Father Chicago
Okay.
talked about it.
Please note these follow photos are not CMRI. Okay.
And then told to eat her own vomit with a spoon. The nuns gave her a choice: say, "Jesus, I love you," and lick it clean, or say, "Jesus, I hate you," and refuse. She refused, and she was punched repeatedly in the face. Other documented practices at the schools included regular beatings with wooden paddles and leather straps,
Which was
students being
already
forced to
normal in most state schools. Like my mom, who grew up in 1979, has discussed this. My grandparents, who went to public school at this time, have talked about paddles being used. None of this is like that different from the secular experience. Like, this was still going on during the 70s. Like, yes, it's terrible, but it was going on in secular schools.
Excuse me, I wasn't being read books by drag queens. So, I mean, it's pretty much like the same thing, right?
walk on bare knees across unpaved parking lots for hours.
No, we've
causing
done that in the
bleeding
Nova
and
Sordo.
permanent joint damage. Girls having their
permanent
heads
joint
shaved
damage.
as
Girls having their
Permanent
head
joint
shaved.
damage. Permanent joint damage for kneeling on the ground. No, we did that in the Novus Ordo too.
Okay.
Like that was a thing.
Punishment. In one case, a girl's head was shaved simply for explaining to a classmate what the menstrual cycle was. There's even a case.
How would
Do
she
we
know
know
what
the
it
age?
is?
Yeah, what was the age of this?
I mean, it's if you say it to someone who's too young, that is sexual assault.
Yeah.
So this woman sexually assaulted another student, and she got punished for that. So that was wrong for her to get punished. What? We need some context, please.
Well, we're never gonna get it, because
We've heard all these stories from Father Chicata, though.
yeah.
Where Chacoin shaved a girl's head himself. Now, after being expelled from Spokane, Schuchart eventually settled in California and opened a new school in Greenville almost immediately. Obviously,
Yeah, he opened
same
it on
pattern
June
surfaced.
Lake and he
Things
homeschooled
like
Michael
physical
Air
abuse and
Conditioner neighbor.
Holocaust style being taught as a fact. In 1987, a SWAT team raided his compound at Lake Almanor, California.
Well, in June Lake,
What they found was
California.
extraordinary. Stockpiles of drugs, Demerol, morphine, Percodan, and a quarter pound of marijuana labeled T, 15 to 17 foreign bank accounts, a weapons cache of handguns and rifles, stolen property, books on killer darts, cyanide grenades, nasal spray explosives, and ritualistic limb removal.
So he sounds like an American.
He sounds insane.
He sounds like he could be a Breaking Bad character.
Yeah.
Copies of a documented Nazi publication, order forms for pamphlets with titles like Death to Race Mixers and Inflation is Jewish. The group sued Plumas County for $185 million
I heard
over
the
the raid.
racism
It's more than 8
starts.
times the county's entire annual budget. All charges were eventually dropped in 1989 when Schuchart agreed to enter drug counseling. Meanwhile, the CMRI, now under Dennis Chacoin's leadership, had its own serious problem. A priest named Father Mario Blanco had been operating a CMRI-associated chapel in Tacoma, Washington, with approximately 170 parishioners. Blanco had been credibly accused of serial sexual abuse going back years.
And he said to those mini-wheats, if you don't jump in my mouth, I'll throw you in the fire. Sorry. So we had another one?
Yeah, keep going with the video because I'd like to clarify something about how Novus Ordo handles abuse.
1991, a
I think
formal
isn't brought
settlement
up by
was
Mike
reached. The parishioners tried to remove him, and they formally asked the CMRI to send a replacement priest. That request confirmed the institutional relationship between Blanco's chapel and the CMRI. The parish eventually broke away from Blanco, bought their own property, and renamed themselves St. Mary's Parish. But the damage had been done. Blanco's conduct had so thoroughly alienated other traditionalist bishops in the United States that the CMRI found itself completely cut off, with no bishop willing to work with them and no way to ordain a new priest. This forced the new leader, Father Mark Pivarunis, to act fast. He traveled to Mexico and arranged to be consecrated as a bishop by an elderly Sedevacantist bishop named Moses Carmona, based in
Selah. Did you want to say what you're going to say?
No, but in the Novus Ordo, pretty much if you commit sexual abuse against children as a priest, it cannot be made public and it will be reported directly to the head of the CDF. So if you want to know why Rupnik was given faculties, it's because of a certain Fernandez. And why a bunch of others maintained their priestly minister, it's because of the head of the CDF. That's been a thing since the 1960s. Since the 1984 Code of Canon Law, pretty much bishops aren't allowed to publicly say anything about it. It's supposed to stay a private matter. It's why they stayed in. It's because of the Novus Ordo laws on the matter. Yeah, I don't know. It's honestly disgusting. Yeah, the reason why pedophiles stay in the Novus Ordo is because of the head of the CDF, Cardinal Fernandez. As he is I think there's a whole Mike Parrott on Restoring the Faith, or at least there used to be, about the whole issue. And then it kind of started with Pius X, but it was a lot, more, shall we say, legislated correctly instead of the way it is now.
Well, under Pius X, when he had Mary Duval? Right,
Yeah.
he was his head. I mean, and that guy was... one of the cardinals who said the Anglicans were out. Like, that guy was straight.
Yeah.
Like, if we had that guy in, woof.
No. Now we get Cardinal Fernandez, the defender of Rupnik. Who
On
then, like,
September
they
24th
tried claiming wasn't the reason why Rupnik was. But it's like, no, it's directly linked to the CDF head. He has the final say on the matter. The reason why Rapnik stayed in is because of Cardinal Fernandez.
1991, Carmona consecrated Pivarunis as a bishop at Mount
But
St.
yeah, if you want
Michael's.
more context,
The
watch
emergency arrangement
Restoring
that
the
Pivarunis
Faith.
had
Mike
scrambled
Kerr
to
does
put
the
together in
interview about
Mexico
it.
became the permanent foundation of the CMRI's entire episcopal structure. Every priest the CMRI has ordained since that day traces his authority back to that rushed consecration, a consecration that only happened because of Blanco's crimes. Francis Schuchart spent his
Okay.
final years as a recluse, moving between locations in California and Washington State. He died on November 5th, 2006, in Redmond, Washington. He was 69 years old.
2006.
Dennis
Huh.
Chacoin, the man who overthrew him, had died 11 years earlier in August of 1995 from cancer at Mount St. Michael's. He had returned there to spend his final days. The legal battle between the two factions continued for nearly a decade after the split. It was settled out of court in 1993. Chacoin's side won the majority of everything. The CMRI today presents itself as a reformed organization, one that put its troubled past behind it when Schuchart was removed in 1984. But I would argue that Schuchart has simply been made into a convenient scapegoat, and that the systematic problems never went away. The man who leads the organization today,
Do you have any
Pivarunis,
proof?
personally
Does he have any proof?
Oh, I hope so.
knew about the sexual abuse and stayed silent. His entire authority as a bishop
Oh man,
traces
this guy's
back
about
to
to
a
cry.
crisis caused by another priest's criminal conduct. The CMRI has no public list of credibly accused clergy, no abuse reporting policy, no independent oversight, because they reject the authority of the current pope and bishops.
Selah.
No
So how many SSPX priests have there been who were abusers? It's like 2, right?
Yeah,
Like 2 out of 700.
yeah.
So it's actually likely, after they fix things, statistically speaking, that there aren't any. Just wanted to point out, it's like the numbers in actual Catholicism is like sub 1%.
Even in the Nova Sorda, yeah. I mean,
That
there's
Nova
more of
Sorda
a
was
problem
like-
in. I was about to say it's more so in the Boston diocese where you see all the problems.
Yeah.
Like unironically, the best source you can get for the Boston stuff is Malachi Martin and his connections, and the whole like fact that the Cardinal of Boston was like in the FBI, like cross-dressing or something after Vatican II with like Herbert Hoover.
Oh, as long as it was Herbert Hoover, that's okay.
Yeah, exactly. Based.
strong
Based
Catholic
Cardinal,
body
I
can
forget his
compel
name.
them to adopt the transparency measures the mainstream church
Who's a parent
implemented after
conservative.
2002. In 20
Wait, wait, did he just try to say that the mainstream church did something right? They just got hit with like 2 more huge.
No, and like I
fines.
said, it's over the CDF. Like that is the CDF's job, and he covered for Rupnik. Like Francis is to blame for why Rupnik stayed for so long, and he met with Rupnik when the allegations were going on and was smiling in photo shoots. And the man writes literal like porn gooner eyes into sacred art, and it's like the reason why the Padre Pio shrine looks so gross.
So he
As well as a few other
drew
chapels have
Attack
been
on
basically-
Titan.
No, like the black eyes. He uses like this weird satanic eye stuff in his icons.
So you're saying that he drew the Attack on Titan?
Yeah, like the Titan eyes, you know. No, that's legit what they look like. Like he pretty much commits sacrilege in his art. And Francis is like, I met with him before Fernandez gave him back his faculties, and then literally mainstream media went after them for this, and that's when Francis was like, whoop-de-doo, I guess we should remove him. I mean, he's only raped like what 5 nuns now. Now we'll remove him because mainstream media pressure forced Pope Francis to remove him. The most merciful Pope Francis.
Okay, let's continue on.
Mainstream church
I
implemented.
think even
after
James
2002.
Martin went
In
after Francis
2022,
for it.
a woman who had been raised in CMRI from 1967 and left around 2007 stated that she was personally aware of 2 priests or brothers who had sexually abused girls within the organization. She said the victims did not want to go to the police. She said one of those individuals was still working with the CMRI at the time that she made the statement. Today, the CMRI operates across 14 countries. They run over 120 churches and mass centers. They staff 20 schools. They train new priests at the seminary in Nebraska. And most of the people sitting in those pews have no idea about any of this.
No, I'm pretty sure they do know about
No,
it.
I'm pretty sure they do.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Pivorinus has made it very public, as well as that CMRI done interview about it.
Yeah, I think that Catholics love... traditional Catholics have a bad habit of bringing up any Sixth Commandment dirt on anyone. It's
Yeah.
annoying. Like it's one of the big gripes normal people have against trads, is that trads are like, hey, did you know about this? You're like, yes, okay, we don't want to talk about this.
Yeah.
Like, this is insane. This is the exact opposite of the way trads actually work. Okay, let's go. I
Yeah,
don't
like
trust
Betty
dice.
She
People
does.
will watch
No,
everything we
John
just
does
covered
that on
and say,
Selahcast.
that was then. Shikard is gone. The CMRI has moved on. So let's ask the question directly. Is the CMRI still a cult today? At the top of the CMRI sits one man, Bishop Mark Pivorinus, Superior General. He is simultaneously the head of the religious congregation, the only bishop with authority over its priests, and the final word on all theological and institutional decisions. There is no board above him, no external bishop he answers to, no Rome, no oversight body of any kind.
How
That
is
is not
Rome
a
any less a
coincidence.
cult at that point?
Yeah, I mean, the Pope literally, as Bishop Sanborn said 2 days ago, the Pope can scrap all of canon law just with a single decree if he wanted to.
It's the direct result of the theology. Because the CMRI rejects every pope since 1958 as illegitimate, there is no higher authority they recognize, which means Pivorinus answers to no one on earth.
Did you know
Researchers who
that
study
Pope Leo is the Pope and that he answers to no higher authority in the church?
Do you mean there's no Supreme Court in the church?
Yeah, it's an absolute monarchy.
What? In 2026, there's a religious
You
institution?
mean in my church?
high control groups identify this as one of the clearest warning signs. The Cult Information Center defines a cult as a group whose founder or leader is dogmatic, not accountable, and has charisma.
I like the
Pivorinus fits
Pope.
Wait, Dogmat? Has Pivorinus ever had a cult of personality?
I don't know. I guess people like Pivorinus. I mean, the same thing was leveled against Williamson for his ties to one of the seminarians that went on to form a splinter group.
I don't know.
That's another piece of gossip, is the Society of John and Mary, if I remember right, was a group in the early 2000s that like did a Seder meal with one of the SSPX seminarians when Williamson was there. And the claim, of course, is that Williamson allowed it and permitted it, blah, 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 and then he eventually left.
Oh.
Yeah, there you go, another gossip point of bad fruits.
every part of that definition. And on top of this, here's another critical point. Pivorinus entered the CMRI at age 15. He has never lived outside of it. He was formed entirely within its walls. He has no frame of reference beyond the institution he now leads.
Did you know that Catholics used to be raised in monasteries and convents for
by the very
school?
system he now controls.
Daddy B,
There
do
is
you
no
know Saint
mechanism
Therese was
anywhere in that
educated
system to
until
remove
she
him,
joined the
correct him,
convent at
or hold him
16
accountable.
by
Sure, I'm wrong. It
visitation
took
nuns?
a decade of dysfunction and revolt by his own clergy to stop him. And guess what? With Pivorinus, there is no shitcoin
You
waiting
know,
in the
every
wing
Catholic
to
saint
overthrow
was a
him.
cultist.
Abuse is still happening, and the abuser is still there. In
Proof?
2022, Francie Urban Radecki, a woman who spent 40 years inside the CMRI and left around 2007, made a statement about what she personally knew. She said she was aware of 2 priests or brothers within the organization.
Yeah, you said this already.
Yeah, please. Why didn't you just cite the source then?
So Francie Radecki, who left her husband to be with the CMRI, said abuse was going on. She leaves the CMRI, and now us 20 years later are saying that's the source where there's still being abuse that's going on. A 20-year defunct source. Okay.
Who had sexually abused girls. She said that victims did not want to go to the police. And she said one of those individuals was still working with the CMRI at the time she was speaking. The statement was made in 2022. Not
Did you
19
know that the fraternity of
She,
St.
but she
Peter
left
ordained
in.
Father
Oh,
Jackson?
which one's Father Jackson?
Remember
Oh,
the
yeah.
guy who had... By the way, do you know what his prison sentence is?
No.
Do you want to guess how lowball it is?
16 years.
6 years. He
Really?
literally has like 3 years left.
Huh.
Yeah. Such great times.
This
I
not
was
Spartacus.
raised in the same ethnic
This is
Catholic
a
family. Am I a cult member? So true. No, that's literally like you take the Saint Therese story. She was a cult member because she was raised in a convent schooling, and then it's like, dude, this is like against the what is it, the Census Fidei made by a Marvel guy who plays
yeah. So
fucking
this is
Rocket
just
League.
made by some video game player. He's not really presenting his case properly.
Semi-professional Moon Knight gamer. What?
I know. Yeah. We're just watching a video. I believe the CMRI elects their superior just as much as the SPX does theirs. I think he isn't a supreme ruler or something. At least that's how I understand. Yes, that is correct. Religious orders have constitutions, and they regularly elect their own leaders.
Hey, what year again was it that Schuckardt was kicked out? 1984, was it?
Yeah.
Okay, so in 1979, Schuckardt, let's say Pivrunas was 15. What age? Let's do some math, guys. Let's do some Sailor math. Play some music, Setty P. We need the Jeopardy theme. Load the Jeopardy theme on YouTube. Because this is a really tough math question.
Okay, Jeopardy. How do you spell Jeopardy?
Jeopardy.
I gotta wait for the commercial.
Okay, guys. In 1979, Bishop Pivarunas was 15. In 1984, Schuckardt was kicked out. How old was Bishop Pivarunas when he apparently should have been changing things? Assuming his birthday, of course, was, I guess, before he got kicked out. Yeah, exactly. 37. You're right. Anyone else want to guess? Loop it, I guess. We have to give St. Anthony a chance. How many years is between age 15 in 1979 and 1984? Would you like to guess, St. Anthony? Lock in your final answers in the chat if you can figure out how old Bishop Pivarunas was.
Well, we have another answer, 666.
Which, by the way, I'd like to make sure this is right. Let me check.
This is, by the way, why I watch my videos before I comment on them. Because sometimes people are just completely screwy. And it's like, if you've ever been in a Novus Ordo church and you've heard the St. Peter is the worst human being of all time homily, you used to get this at least once a year. It's like, yeah, take the Bibles out of context and out of the tradition and read it straight. And then make up what you want to make up about our Holy Father, St. Peter. And you're like, oh, yeah, you can just enumerate blasphemies against him. It's really easy to do. That's wrong. So it's like, why is this now? Why are we doing this now with this guy? It's just very strange. Do you have your answer there, John? John? Bishop Burns was born in 58. So he would have been 26 when they got rid of Schuchart. I guess he was supposed to just like become Superman and just like assume authority over his bishop that he took a vow of obedience to. Okay. Makes sense.
1984, not the Schuchart era. 2022. In response from the CMRI, nothing. No investigation, no public statement, no removal, no acknowledgement that the allegation was even made.
That's not necessarily true. So if there is an allegation made, it's likely to be it's likely to be handled internally rather than externally. It's not like someone makes an allegation, therefore let's call the police on ourselves. So again, it's not how things are done.
This is not the behavior of a reformed organization. This is the same pattern that defined the Schuchart years, an accusation made in an institution that looks the other way.
She left the institution in 2007 and made the accusation in 2022. That's like me still being a Los Angeles Lakers fan and making an accusation because I used to watch them, when Kobe was there. I guess. Are you still here, John? I mean, Detective Koishi. And silence was the answer.
Leaving cost you your family. One of the most consistent high control group is what happens when someone tries to leave. Bernie was the son of one of the men who sued Schuchart in 1974.
Yeah, he was 26 at the time.
CMRI with his wife Francie around 2007. His sister Mary, who had remained inside the organization, changed their mother's will while she was deep in dementia, cutting Bernie out. When he didn't fight it, Mary sent him $1,000. Francie described it as a slap in the face. The family stopped speaking to them entirely after they left. George Wagner and Jacinta, also former members who returned to the mainstream church, suffered the same fate. Francie described them as being cast off.
By the way, my family, half of us don't like each other anymore because we changed.
By the way, Bernie is not the mother's son.
No.
Look, Mary changed her mother's will and replaced Bernie, my husband, with herself as the executor of her mom's estate.
Yeah, that is a nonsensical statement.
He's not even the member of the family. He's just a son-in-law. Well, unless Mary Frances Urban Radecki is.
How did she change her mother's will to change the lawyer in charge
the
of the
brother,
will?
I'm not sure.
The executor of the state is the lawyer, not the person who receives the inheritance.
Well, I don't know. Anyway, some weird comment. That's all I gotta say.
I know. I
suffered the same fate. Francie described them as.
This is like no evidence.
In 2007, 15 nuns.
Oh, it's horrible.
St. Michael's after Pivarunas issued a decree requiring all sisters to sign a statement agreeing with CMRI theology or leave. 15 women. Many of them.
That's not what happened there, by the way.
No, they saw Benedict in a video, accepted him as Pope. Then the Novus Ordo sent a bunch of Mother Teresa nuns to the convent, and then tried to basically secretly have meetings, telling.
Yeah, they went around behind his back.
No, they did. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is what happened, and that is like public record via these recently Ecclesia Dei nuns.
Whom had given decades of their lives to the organization, were effectively expelled for insufficient loyalty. And cut off
because
from
they
the
didn't
community
agree
they had
with the
known their entire
CMRI
life.
on doctrine and openly went around the people's backs.
They essentially denied their own oath of obedience.
Yeah, like the whole point of being CMRI was being sede. Oh, but they were expelled. It's like, yeah, and guess who expelled SSPX seminarians for not upholding R&R? Like,
The Norwegian prince.
That's right.
I'll be up here for a second.
Archbishop
and talk or something.
Lefebvre. Archbishop Lefebvre. No, St. Anthony, that's not worth watching. Just said he'd be doing a bad. By the way, it's also Kwasniewski, I'm pretty sure. Wait, no, I guess it is Ted Kaczynski. It's not a breakdown, it's just him reading in a French accent. Le Flope. No, I mean, this is just such a dumb video. Made by a stupid person. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Who's this guy
ready?
making the CMRI hit piece, St. Anthony? We don't know. If you'd like to join the call, by the way, we can link it.
I don't know. That's just a weirdo.
Yeah. Making like
Adult
very
lives.
like
Researchers
un-Catholic.
describe shunning as one of the most
conclusions.
powerful control mechanisms a high control group uses, not just to punish those who leave, but to terrify
If it
those
is a
who are
what
thinking
Catholics
about it.
believe video,
If leaving
then
means losing your
proof the
family,
SSPV
your
is ran
community,
by
and
retards.
everything you have.
Yeah, he's just grabbing random clips, though. He actually says in different points in the video that this clip is not of the CMRI nuns. So it's like, why are you placing it?
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Ever known,
just
most
random
people
nuns.
will not leave. That is the point. Pipperonis breaks the rules he claims to uphold. The CMRI's entire
Okay.
identity rests on one claim, that they alone hold the true Catholic faith.
I don't think they say they alone.
I'm pretty certain, literally, Pivarinus is the ecumenical bishop out of all of the city
Yeah, he
bishops.
allowed me to go to the SSPX.
Like, they
So-
literally.
And Sanborn has basically Heiner tried condemning the CMRI for being too ecumenical.
This guy
Well,
only
like,
knows
they
the
tried,
CMRI.
like
The
Steven
CMRI
Heiner
exists.
started trying to start drama on that one website with all like the SEDE talks. No, this is like absolute nonsense.
This guy hasn't even gotten halfway down the rabbit holes. One of the
I
reasons.
recognize that picture. I took it at the. You should copyright strike him for stealing your photo.
One of the reasons why I stopped being so dogmatic about the
He was
State of
really mad at
Contism?
Steven Wiener in that pic.
Okay, never mind. Let's keep going.
Steven Weiner.
Specifically, the teaching of the church before 1958, without compromise or deviation. But even within the traditional Catholic world, that claim does not hold up. Pivarinus publicly defends a position called baptism of desire. The idea
Wait,
is-
what? This guy's a Feniite?
It's a Feniite. We found a Feniite.
We finally figured out the mentally
We
ill part of
found
this
a
video.
Feniite.
What?
Oh, buddy.
This guy is stupid.
This is a Feniite.
Play the video. Have him explain his
saved
stupidity.
without actual water baptism if they sincerely desire it. Other traditionalist Catholics argue this contradicts defined pre-1958.
What does that have to do with being more
on the absolute
traditional?
necessity of baptism. He also publicly endorses.
This
natural
guy doesn't know what he's
planning
talking
reform.
about. This
It-
guy's a moron.
It's the anti-natural family planning Feniites. It's fantastic.
No, I mean, as we've said with John Farrell, the natural family planning, like when trad bishops try even explaining it, doesn't even make sense as what the Novus Ordo calls it. Like, none of the explanations anyone gives ever, like, sounds anything like Novus Ordo or like what should even be called NFP.
I haven't
You know,
listened
that's what I
to
find funny.
Jimmy Akins explain it, and I still have no idea what people
What it
disagree
is.
on.
No, I don't either. I told you that about John Farrell, that John Farrell will, like, say a statement, and then he'll, like, directly say that's wrong, even if he says it's true also. Like, oh, yes, in this case, it's okay. So it's like, so SEDEs don't believe in natural family planning.
It's just
That's
like
why
the
it's well,
words. If you
doesn't.
say these words, you're wrong. And
Yeah,
we don't care
NFP.
what the
No,
words
NFP
mean.
is a stupid term.
Yeah, it is. What about the red heifer, though?
Yeah, that's true.
Of regulated birth avoidance, critics within the traditional Catholic world argue the pre-1958 Church's teaching on this was far more restrictive
Oh,
than
did they?
Pivarunas acknowledges, and that his position represents a modern
This guy is
accommodation
literally
dressed up
stupid.
as tradition. The significance of this is not the theology itself. The significance is what it reveals about the structure. When there is
That they
one
aren't true
unaccountable
tradition.
leader at the top, a leader who answers to no one, the rules become whatever he says they are.
Yeah,
The
just like the
pre-1958
Pope.
Yeah, but even with Bishop Sanborn has this retarded take of pretty much Delorier's told me the thesis was true, and I don't question what's true. Like I think that's actually what he thinks.
No, it's like
He
his
doesn't
obedience
actually
to
think for
Lefebvre. It
himself.
was like his obedience to Lefebvre that Sanborn talks about.
Yeah.
No, it's not wrong Sanborn says that. At least he admits it openly.
This isn't true. Just read the CMRI article on it.
No, it's like when John Farrell admits, like, NFP, if we're talking in the context of, like, going to war and the only time you could have marital relations before you went off to war was right then it'd be okay. But, like, the real issue is when you start, like, using all of the birth cycle crap. Like, as soon as you involve the science into it, that's actually when you can start sinning. Because at that point you are deliberately, like, trying to play God. Which you just shouldn't do. Why would you open yourself to play God with having a kid? At that point, you are holding yourself accountable to a spreadsheet. Why would anyone do that? And then, of course, Amber Rose finally had a kid, by the way. Did you see that? She's like, the greatest accomplishment of all time. It's like, oh, after...
Really?
Yeah.
That's
She's
tomorrow's
pregnant now,
Selahcast?
finally. It took her 6 million years of, doing NFP, and then finally she was like, I'm ready.
I don't know. It makes no sense. I still don't even understand how you talk a woman into NFP.
No, I don't get it either. It's like, no, you don't want
I've
kids.
never
It's like,
talked
that
to
woman
a
is
woman
evil.
where I even brought this up.
You'd be like,
Why
I
do
don't
you
want to have
bring this
kids. No, it's like, why would you make yourself accountable to spreadsheets for having a kid? Why?
It's so weird. Okay, back to the
The
show.
church he claims to represent had popes, councils,
Natural
canon lawyers,
spreadsheet
and a global
having
hierarchy
sex
to interpret and apply
schedules.
doctrine consistently. The CMRI has Pivarunas, and when Pivarunas decides that something is acceptable, whether
No, he
that's a
doesn't, because
particular
he allows
theological
people to go to the
position
SSPX
or
even though
an
he disagrees with them.
Yeah, this person has no idea what it's talking.
accused priest who keeps his job, there is no mechanism to say otherwise.
Oh, just like the Pope.
Father Geckel said the opposite to me. He said, I started off as a novitiate in the CMRI. I decided I didn't want to be a CMRI, and I left it, but I am ordained by Pivarunas and submit to him. He literally just voluntarily left the organization.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
No,
The
because
information
it's a
environment
cult.
within the CMRI is
Oh. Oops.
contained. Members of the CMRI live in a world almost entirely constructed by the institution itself. Their children.
Huh?
Just to let you know, this is the way all Catholics work, unless they're weirdos.
No, literally. That's how you're supposed to do it. Like the
attend
patristics
CMRI
would
schools
recommend
where the
this.
curriculum, the teachers, and the daily environment are controlled by
This
the
is how
organization.
Catholic
the priests,
schools worked in the
brothers,
50s.
Wait. Look at the size of these chess pieces. Like, we need to get, like, this can't be moral. Look how big these chess pieces are.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just wanted to say something. Look how big they are.
Yeah. Checkmate, liberal. Yeah, look at that. The queen is right next to the king. That's a checkmate.
Look at wait, they are segregated. Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
sisters
Proof
who run
of
those schools
racial.
were themselves
I like how
educated
they
in
just threw
CMRI
racial
institutions. Many have
institution
never lived
over,
outside
like
the
he
system.
hasn't talked
Their
about it.
theological reading is CMRI publications. Books like Tumultuous Times by the Radecki twins, who were themselves born into the organization and formed entirely within it. Their community is the
Who
CMRI
cares?
parish.
Look at all these happy women.
Hey, that's my parish's traditional Catholic sermons. Congrats.
Oh.
Nice
Where the
parish.
social connections, the friendships, the marriages, and the entire fabric.
You
of
in the
Can you
daily life
believe
are
that they
bound
married
up
their own
within the group.
people?
This is what
What?
researchers call a totalistic information environment.
Did you know
Okay,
CMRI people
totalists.
don't have the
Oh, wait,
internet?
they're totalists.
Oh, they're Totalist Information Network. No.
You thesis heads weren't ready for this.
The board is painted on the floor, so they removed the chairs and played chess. Okay, this place is
Freemason
cool.
pattern.
This place is cool. I need to go into.
They have
I
a
need-
Freemason pattern on the floor.
What? Look at. We need to go visit traditional Catholic sermons and play chess.
I love Mount St. Michael's. Do you go to Mount St. Michael's traditional Catholic sermons? Which parish is that?
It's not necessarily enforced by guards or locked doors. It is enforced by the simple
We
reality
all have to meet
that
up
every
at the Fatima
relationship, every
conference.
source of knowledge, and every social consequence in a person's life runs through the institution. Questioning
Oh, like
the
going to
institution
confession.
means questioning everything at once. High control group researchers note that this kind of environment makes genuine informed consent impossible because
Kind of
What?
like the
This
Diamond
is-
Knights. What?
Or like any Catholic experience of the Catholic faith.
Have you been a homeschooler? You want to see a cult? Go any homeschooler family that's
No,
isolated.
exactly. I was homeschooled. I remember the abuse that went on.
Wait, you're with Father. Is this why you're always one-twoing Father Lavery? I actually thought you were a priest under Father Lavery because of this, by the way.
Me? Or
No, traditional
oh,
Catholic.
oh.
She's St. Teresa's name.
Oh, nice. Saint Therese. Very nice.
No, Teresa. Teresa
No,
of
Saint
Avila.
Therese.
Teresa
No, she said
Lisieux.
Saint Therese.
Teresa. No, Teresa.
She said Saint Therese.
No, it's spelled with the E at the end if it's Therese.
Oh, it does say Saint Teresa. I'm stupid. I'm sorry. I missed it.
members are
Eh,
never given the full
they're all
picture.
just the
They
same
don't know what
holiness.
happened with Schuchart in detail. They don't know
No, I think
about
they
the
do.
Blanco chain. They don't
No,
know
I think they
what
do.
Pivarunas said on record in 1997. They don't
No,
know
I think
about
they
the
do.
2022 abuse allegation.
And I think we've all read or listened to the Father Chicata point because people acted like this was a huge gotcha. And then I said my mother abused me worse than that. It's like, come on.
No, my
We
mom
wanted
abused me
to
more
know
than
if
that.
we were wrong, and so we read all the worst things against us. Did you know Father Chicata physically disciplined a student, with the permission of his parents in front of the
I have a
parents?
sob story to tell. I have a sob story to tell about how I was abused. And I'll, of course, make sure to only give the best context ever. My mom hit me
And you were totally right.
after I threw an ice pack at her face.
Oh.
But I was abused! I was abused!
I don't think I've ever done anything so wretched to my mother.
Oh, I did
Except
it
maybe
plenty of
screaming
times.
at her.
I did that plenty of times. I was abused. Oh look, I was vindicated, Saint Therese.
Oh
Of
no.
No, it's not misspelled. It's the French way of spelling it.
They know what the
Oh,
CMRI
Saint
tells them.
Therese.
The
Yes,
CMRI
or
tells them
Therese.
They are the one true church, and everyone outside of it is lost.
Because the SE makes the E noise at the end silent.
They
so it's
literally
Therese.
don't, though. This guy is like so full of it.
No, he's not. I don't even think he's Catholic.
The final argument isn't just that the
Yeah,
CMRI
look at this
hides
Kevin
the
Kevin
Davis.
Davis, the
man
real
at the top
abuser
was
of
caught
us.
doing it on record in a recorded interview. We can show you exactly where. In a sit-down
What?
interview with the Catholic Family Podcast,
What?
Bishop Mark Pivarunas discussed at length his life, his vocation, and the history of the organization he leads. In over an hour of conversation, he manages to never once mention the man who founded the organization, Francis Schuchart.
Yeah, because he's
the
mentioned him
evidence-
plenty in other videos.
The evidence for your position is he didn't say something. Hey, I would like to accuse John the Fool of knocking down the Twin Towers on 9/11. Well, he didn't say he didn't.
Dang it, you figured it out. That was after I threw the ice pack. And I was abused.
No!
The man who built the CMRI from nothing, who ran it for nearly 2 decades.
Oh, that was
Whose
supposed to pick up
triggered
on the
a
mic.
revolt, a SWAT team raid, a criminal investigation, and a complete institutional collapse.
Yeah, when he was kicked
Gone
out.
and erased, never mentioned.
Never mentioned, sure. Sure,
He
buddy.
never did. If there's someone who's just glibly tells you other people's sins, I think Pivarus is one of them. He doesn't care.
This is like the greatest lie about settings ever. Oh yeah, they're covering it up. It's like, no, we spill shit about the Diamond Brothers. We spill shit about the SSPD. We spill crap about the SSPX. We spill crap about the FSSP. We spill crap about the Institute.
Wait,
We spill
wait,
crap
wait.
about the Novus Ordo. It's
Did
like,
you join the Novus Ordo religion last year?
who, me?
Yeah.
Of course. Because I didn't say I didn't.
Throwing ice plaque, blessing ice block, the same thing. Oh.
It reminds me of the time my mom got so mad at me, she dropped a glass. What are they? The like the tempered glass, like food containers, Tupperware. She like dropped it on her foot because she was mad at me about something, and then like I had to like help her get to the hospital. So like the whole situation was resolved because I felt awful. What's it?
But isn't the only one missing.
I
The
did nothing wrong.
1987 SWAT
I was
raid on
innocent.
Shugar's
I was
compound
abused.
at Lake Al Manor, the drugs, the weapons, cash,
I
the
was
Nazi
abused, I'll
literature,
have you
foreign
know.
bank account-
Did you know if you've done something wrong ever?
You were abused.
No. You're responsible for it forever. So like Fernando, who pitched for the Dodgers, if he hits someone with a car 50 years later in Venezuela, that's the Dodgers' fault.
That's right.
That's right.
goes completely unmentioned. Pivarunis moves from the early lecture circuit years straight to the Omaha expansion as if the intervening decade simply did not happen. When he does address the Blanco situation, which was the serial sexual abuse that directly caused his consecration as a bishop, here's how he describes it.
And then we had a very interesting situation. Now I'm not going to go into any of the particular details, but the one of the heaviest crosses for me in my priesthood was a challenge that we encountered. And there was a mass center, a church, and there was an unfortunate falling out between the lay people and the priest. There were issues with the priest. I thought there were serious issues with the priest. And this priest successfully was able to, how would you say, I believe through misinformation, alienate the bishops of the United States from CMRI.
Issues with the priest. That is how the current leader of the CMRI.
How do you know he's wrong, though, that the guy didn't play the CMRI off with this? Like, what if that's just true? What if he actively played the CMRI? Like, what? No, John, that's wrong. That can't be the case, that a guy could lie to his superiors and claim the laity were attacking him, or, cover up things since they didn't have the internet. Or claim that the diocese was maligning him.
Maybe all of his parishioners were a bunch of American Reform guys who just randomly reject priests whenever they don't accept what they say.
Yeah. No, exactly. Like, shit like that was happening with, like, that's how the St. John Cantius Church started, was split off from the SSPX when a bunch of John Birch Society members legit kicked a society priest out, stole the vestments, and then started a whole, like, old Catholic church in Chicago, and then other members went on to basically help the St. John Cantius Church start.
That's crazy.
Serial sexual abuse carried out by Father Mario Blanco against his own parishioners. A CMRI-affiliated priest.
Well, I hope it wasn't
a
against the
chapel of
Lutherans,
170 people.
Me
Not
too.
abuse,
Pope
not
Francis
predation,
could never.
not a formal legal sentiment issue.
He died in 2008. This is another problem I have with these issues. Like, when you're looking
people
into
die,
something, it's
yeah.
good to know about it. But if it's not relevant to today, like, what's the point?
Yeah, he's dead.
Like, we don't all have to talk about Bill Clinton and Monica Lewinsky all the time.
No, we do. You don't understand.
Oh, we do? Oh, yeah, okay.
Proof of the abuse cult.
Oh, did you know you live in an abuse cult called the United States and you're not reporting it?
Oh.
He goes further.
You're trying
He
to
tells his
cover it
interviewer
up
that the
with
full
your
extent
obedience.
of the problem only became clear after Blanco died. His exact words.
There was about 170 people at this church. All they wanted is the Mass and the sacraments. They had issues with the priest, and it wasn't until the priest died that we realized that the priest had some very serious issues.
Oh,
left
so
to
he's
Nova
literally
Scotia.
admitting what we just said, that there's a good chance he covered up his own flaws and was blaming parishioners.
Well, also, if a Catholic code word for serious issue is usually means grave issues.
Yeah. No, like, you're not really supposed to talk about them.
Yeah. I was going to do a rant on my show
No, it's
because I
like
have a
the
clip
St.
from John
Catherine,
McClane.
the St. Catherine, the dialogues when it says you're not allowed to judge priests, that it's up to God the Father. Now you'll go to hell if you do. I mean, clearly,
sorry,
us
Father,
lady, have to be
Fahey.
careful.
Sorry,
I
Father
told
Fahey.
you as much. Like, no, that's like a legit thing. Like, you're not
Marxist.
supposed to judge them. Yeah. No.
Yes, I have
But he
proof.
was
I
given-
literally have texts of him espousing pseudo
No,
Marxist.
because he wrote a whole book against Marxism. It's called, like, Dear Brother something, about, like, a guy who joined the IRA and is direct opposition to the group because of their ties to communism.
I didn't say communism. I said Marxism. Okay.
Yeah, his strong opposition to Marxism as laid out by the Pope.
I didn't say Marxism. I said communism.
Oh, yeah.
A legal settlement was reached in 1991 while Blanco was still alive. The parishioners formally requested a replacement priest from the CMRI, confirming the organization knew of the situation while it
He
was
was
happening.
abusing
Said he
Hispanics.
was
That
mad
doesn't
that-
count.
At the time.
Said
He's not
he's
Kevin
just mad the Sunday
What he's
Visitor
doing in this
posted
interview
a whole
is subtly
post about
reordering the timeline,
corporatism in
making
the
it appear as
50s.
though the Carmona consecration happened
Yes.
after
It
the
did,
Blanco
yeah.
situation was
And
resolved.
it was either around the
rather
30s
than
or the
because of it.
50s.
He describes the consecration as providential, guided by God. A letter arrived from Bishop Carmona. They prayed, then they voted. What he omits is that no other bishop
Your
in
comments
America
are
would
being
work with the
blocked,
CMRI at that
Ezekiel
moment
True.
because of Blanco's documented crimes. The
Fascinating to
consecration wasn't
ponder how
providential.
much the
It was a
country
last
and the world
resort,
could change
and the
in
word
50
abuse
years.
is never spoken
Joshua
once in the entire
Charles.
interview.
What a retard.
Huh?
I was reading Cog Ezekiel's comments.
You got to make like nice. Okay.
This is how institutional memory
You're
gets
banning
managed.
him? Or what?
Not through outright denial,
I don't
but
ban no
through
one.
careful
Just
language.
I was
the-
about to
Through
say,
words
don't
like
delete his channel.
issues and serious concerns and unfortunate falling outs, through omitting names, through reordering timelines, through an hour of history that somehow
Or
leaves
just,
out the
I don't know,
founder,
being
the
ignorant
raid,
of
the
it.
drugs, the weapons, the abuse
Oh, you
settlements,
mean the stuff
the
that
actual-
happened after he left?
How many? This is another problem I have. Like, I remember when I was in my 20s and I hated my own dad.
No, this guy is distorting a timeline.
This guy is really distorting it, but he's also like personally offended by them for some reason. Probably because he's a Phoenix, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
Like-
the fact that he's like, they're not very traditional because look at Feniites and NFP deniers.
Trying to find corporatism in my Sunday Visitor.
No, it's at the really. I'll look it up for you. Our Sunday Visitor might be
Our
the
Sunday
name.
Visitor.
Let me look it up.
I don't see any.
Let me look it up.
reason the organization's entire episcopal authority exists. They are not unaware by accident. They are unaware because the man at the top, the man giving recorded interviews about the organization's history, has decided deliberately and on camera what they are allowed to know. What you
What?
don't know can't make you leave.
It's literally not true. He doesn't give a crap. Like, Bishop Iberinus is an extremely down-to-earth person. I've never met him, and I can tell by the way he talks. Like, if you ever remember with the Father Chicata and that homosexual, that he would just be like, it's good that you showed up to church. Make sure you do it every week. Like, this snarky Father Chicata bits. And
Yeah.
Father Chicata saying it to someone that he knew wouldn't, like, come back the next week. It's like, come on, man. That guy crashed out hard, too. Let's see, Father Faye. I see me.
No, but I mean, it's like Father Fahey said. Let me look it up.
Good.
And that, more than anything else, is how high control groups stay alive. This is a story about what happens when religious authority goes completely unchecked.
It is? Religious authority went unchecked, and the guy crashed out, did drugs, left the order, was kicked out, did more drugs, got swatted, and therefore it's the fault of unaffiliated people. Therefore, State-of-Vacantism is refuted. We've done it. We've refuted State-of-Vacantism because the sins of Stuttgart. Therefore,
Wait, Steady P, did you ever read the document, why the heck do I not know Latin?
Quadragesimo Anno.
Yeah,
Yeah, several times.
the one that mentioned the social corporate state.
The one that
In
says the
direct
free market
reference
will
to
fail.
corporatism.
Yeah, it mentions a lot of things.
Yeah, that it's pro-corporatism.
So,
Yeah, exactly. I thought corporatism was Marxism, but the Pope is praising it. What say you, said AP?
it never mentions corporatism for one
It
thing.
literally does. The social corporate state is a direct reference to corporatism. That's what it's called.
Is it social
Corporate state.
or in the social corporate state does not appear in the document.
Let me look for it.
You can type in the word corporate.
Sorry, let
And
me
it
look
appears
for the
4 times.
direct
90 black,
corporative
90
social
green,
order. Corporative social order.
Yeah, it's called just a normal business.
No, that's literally a direct reference to corporatism.
No, it's not. Okay, here it is. Let
It
me.
is, though, in context, it
The
is.
associations or corporations. Is that specifically corporatism? Or is it
Yes!
just businesses?
That's what you don't understand, is the different definition for a corporation and what corporatism means by corporation. You have to get Phil, for all people who talk about us using words wrong, you don't seem to understand the words used by corporatists. You should read the literature, said AP.
Yeah, I've read their literature, and they play fast and loose with everything.
Did you play Mosley? Did you read Mosley, said AP?
No.
Mosley's not in the document.
No, I'm saying, have you read Oswald Mosley? Or, like, the Codex Fascisimo? Come on, AP.
Which one's the Codex Fascisimo?
I think that's the name of the book by the one guy going over all the movements. I'm trying to think of the name for the one that Mussolini didn't write, but like Giovanni Gentile wrote. Like the first one. That's like pretty much very vague.
I don't know. Do I just finish this video right now? It's only got 1 minute left.
When there's no outside oversight, no accountability,
Oh.
no one to answer to. When the
Yeah, just like
institution
Rome.
matters more than the people inside of it. CMRI calls itself the one true Catholic Church. But
No,
from
it
the
doesn't.
motel room in Chicago,
It really
the
does.
SWAT team raids, the lawsuits, the cover-
Again, timeline like
There's
gaslighting.
that he knew and said nothing. The record tells a very different story.
He didn't say it every Sunday.
Oh my
Second
gosh,
part coming soon.
coming soon.
Did you know Sedis have no authority to be Sedis? Oh.
How soon ago was this re-uploaded?
Well, this
I wanna
one was
know,
3
so-
days ago.
Oh, so how long till we get part 2? Sedevacantism theology refuted.
Oh, they don't have the right to make a new theology.
And here's why Vini was right. It all comes down to baptism of desire and the St. Benedict Center, which is in full communion.
Look, if you
And
have
that was
something you want me
kinda-
to read, you can send it to me, and I'll read it.
Yeah, here, YouTube, have some mace. True.
But other than that, the stream is done.
Aww.
Another stunning critique. I tell you, all these critiques I've watched of State of Acontism, they're also low effort.
What are the comments? Show the comments of the video.
No, the comments are all stupid.
No, that's why I want to read them. We gotta read them together, Seti P. You gotta share screen.
Yeah, just give me a second.
Make sure we zoom in. No, I just want to know how dumb it is. Is it gonna be like Gen Z Catholic, where it's like, boo?
Come on, let me grab the screen. Come on. Holy cow. Huge big fat cow.
True.
Share screen.
That is a huge big fat cow. Woo. As a new Catholic, all the Sedes excommunication card. He was ordained as a bishop. Was so real.
He was ordained as a bishop and a priest during the same ceremony. You can't be ordained as a bishop. Okay, guys, come on.
As a new Catholic myself, learning about these guys is crazy.
What does he say? Imagine growing
up in it.
Ah, yes. Oh, the Stuttgart days. Oh.
We'll be praying for your wisdom. A shame you allow scandal to come between you and God. May the Lord have mercy on you. So true.
Oh. Okay. These people and their what's it called? Scandal mongering. The cult has brought so much pain and suffering. What hasn't brought
in
pain
the
and
details
suffering?
you left the church at 19. So the guy's actually just an apostate.
Thank you for doing God's work. Baptism is by water only. Oh. Still not Pope. Hey, there's Claire Q. I hate this woman. This woman. If I could kill anyone, I mean, if I had a death note.
Show the reply.
You should look to the Orthodox. Oh my God.
Oh, so this guy's Orthodox.
This guy's like he's a Feniite Orthodox. Oh.
Saint Gregory Nazianzen clearly said.
Also, baptism desires the teaching of the church or saints who died before being baptized. Oh. I don't care to argue if it's Catholic or not.
The post is that Peruvians is clearly making dogmatic. No, because the Pope said that baptism of desire was true.
How is it dogmatic?
I mean, baptism of desire is dogmatic, and this guy's claiming it's not.
No, here's one. So your main concern with Bishop Iverinus was he protected Stuttgart when he was 15?
Who said that? Who said that?
TGRGRBRG. Why are you responding to a troll account, bro?
Bogus disorder sect.
Sorry, this is so funny. I can't.
I told you it was worth reading. Plus, you're splitting hairs when the war started. Russia wasn't. Yeah, I mean, he's literally a liar. Show his replies showing what a gay faggot he is.
The main focus isn't on Fatima.
Marian apparitions are privately held beliefs. Because I can just disagree with popes and the ordinary magisterium pre-Vatican II. No, I love that about the Novus Ordos, that they don't believe in Vatican I when it comes to Fatima.
Well, some weird say they want to also change stuff in that anyway.
Yeah.
Wait, so real
Being
Catholicism is saying all religions are a path to God. I'm not Roman Catholic, so I couldn't tell you. The dude's not a Catholic.
Oh, man. This video gave me full body chills in the best way. What?
This is
My man
literally a
was
troll
gooning.
comment. This is
He
literally
was
a
gooning.
troll
He
comment.
was
This is gooning. He's
gooning.
gooning. Oh no!
Oh yeah.
No more valid than free
Pizzarunas.
Oh, Father Jenkins. Oh, sorry, this is the most based ever.
Yeah. Now show the 7 replies.
You found very cynical, like an atheist. In fact, Rhythm Church is just some Protestant, right? What?
This guy's a Protestant.
What's a rhythm? What? I don't know. What? I don't know. It's just all insane.
You merely exchange one cult for another.
Oh, what do you mean? Oh, EO is a cult. Oh, that's true. Oh, explain so, Bill. He's EO.
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 Yo. Now, my favorite people in the Eastern Orthodox are the old believers. No, not the old believers, but the true Orthodox. Are like, when the Soviets took over the church, that was the line for me. When the Muslims took over by Patriarch, it was A-okay and completely valid for hundreds of years. But when the Soviets did it, that was the line. That's what we had to separate. I mean, all of Russian patriarchs derived their orders from the Muslim Turk patriarchs. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know how that church works if they want to claim that the Soviets went too far. But, the Antichrist Muslims, they weren't far enough. Because rather the Sultan than the tiara, except when it's Stalin.
Because then there was Stalin.
Yeah, rather the Sultan than Stalin. That's right. Oh, sounds like Carbonga's quips. Yeah, true.
Okay, are we done here?
Maybe. It's been a long time getting from here to there.
Wait, he's...
Been a long time, and I will find my da-da-da, and I will...
Wait, the guy is replying to me on
the eve of Holy Sunday?
Tell me, where is the Church of Christ established as a Catholic? I would like to be united to this visible church. He found it with a visible head, not an invisible remnant. So, you know the church went underground almost immediately until the 4th century. Right? Was it visible then? Was it visible then? Oh, anyway, let's just end the stream because I'm just gonna reply to this guy.
And a string.
And a string. Oh, well, why do we have to always play this outro video?
This fag Kyle.
This fag Kyle